Git branching and merging is where most beginners get confused. And honestly, it's where Git actually becomes really powerful. In this video, we're going to learn how merging actually works and the exact commands that you will use. Let's start with the core idea, because once you understand this visually, everything else gets easier. So what is a Git branch? A branch is just simply a separate line of development. It lets you work on features without breaking the main code. You can then merge these changes into another branch. In most cases, the main branch. Let's say you're in a Git repository with initial commit and you want to create a new feature, but you don't want it affecting the main timeline. With branching, we can type git branch and then whatever the branch name you want for it, so feature/login. And whenever we go ahead and do that, it creates the new branch within our Git repository. And we can see that down in pink. Then we can type git checkout the new branch name to go ahead and switch over to that branch. Or you can type git switch branch name. And then once you're on this branch, you can go ahead and add your feature and then go ahead and make a commit. So in this case, we added a logon feature. And we can see in our graph, it has now visually branched out from the main branch. Then let's say you want to add another commit saying you formatted the code. And from here, we see that all the changes we've made are not on the main branch. But then Git will allow us to merge these changes onto the main branch. And there's a few different types of merges. For just a simple merge, we can go ahead and say git checkout main to go ahead and go back to the main branch. Then we can say git merge branch name. And this will go ahead and merge the branch back into the main timeline. And we can see the colors are still a little bit different just to indicate what's happening here. But once you have merged successfully, you can then type git branch -d to delete the branch with the branch name, since we merged the branch successfully. And since we've done that, we can now see we have a clean line on the main timeline. Branches solve three real problems that we have. One is breaking production. Another one is allowing multiple developers to work simultaneously on the same code base. And it makes experimenting with code safe. Without branches, every developer edits the same code at once, which is chaos. So now let's get into specifically the different kind of merges we'll learn in this video. We don't need to go over all of them because there are many types of merges, but there are three that we will focus on in this video. That is a fast forward merge, a normal merge, and a squash merge. An example of a fast forward merge is when the main branch does not have any new commits, but your feature branch has one or more commits. And when it merges, Git just moves the pointer forward onto that branch. And we can see visually to make it easier, we just put the graphs together. A merge commit, which is a normal merge, is whenever both branches have new commits. So the main branch and your feature branch both have commits. So both of the histories have diverged in different directions. And this is where merge conflicts happen. And we'll go over how to resolve merge conflicts later in the video. Either all merge conflicts have been resolved or there are no merge conflicts, Git will automatically generate a new commit combining the branches together. And the last one we'll go over is the squash merge. And this combines all the commits into staged changes. And this will take all of the commits from the branch that you're trying to merge in, so in this case the feature branch, put them down into one commit and set that as staged changes, meaning it has not become a commit yet on the main branch. It does not create a merge commit automatically, and you must create the commit manually. So next up, I'll show you what a merge conflict can look like. So in VS Code, on the little Git symbol here, I have the main branch. I also have another branch here that's not being shown. If we go ahead into this auto, you can specify the branches you want to show or just select all. For the purposes of this tutorial, I'm going to hit all. And we can see that we have a feature branch that has a different commit and we have a commit. And they're actually both editing the same line, which is this one right here. If I type git merge feature 1, we will have a merge conflict. And we can see here it's indicated by this head, which is the main branch changes, and the feature 1 changes down here. If you are using VS Code, you can accept the current change, accept incoming changes, both changes, or compare them. So you decide which one you want, and it will overwrite based on them. In this case, I will just accept both. And now that we have done this, we can do git add the file name. In this case, it is going to be app.py. And we'll do git commit -m merged feature 1. And now we can see the visual in the graph right here. The branch has now merged into the main, and we now have the changes. Something to note is to keep the branches small. The smaller the changes are, the fewer merge conflicts you will face. It'll also help to name your branches clearly to know specifically what the branch is for. You don't want to name it something so generic like some change. And then whenever you are done with your branch, it's good to clean it up by deleting it if possible. To set a URL on GitHub or GitLab or any other kind of Git service provider, you can type git remote add origin, or whatever name you want to put. You can put GitHub if you want to specify a specific origin, and then the URL to the repo. You can also change the remote URL by saying git remote set URL, the origin name, and then the GitHub URL that you want to change it to. Once you have this set up, you are able to push branches to the remote URL. We can say git push -u to set the upstream, and this just means all git pushes and git pulls do not have to specify whatever your origin is, or whatever you called your origin, and then the branch name. If you don't set this upstream automatically, you just specify the upstream whenever you do this. So git push origin branch name. We can delete a branch on our remote, so in this case GitHub, by saying git push origin -- delete and then our branch name. If we want to list all of the remote branches, we can say git branch -r. If we want to verify what our remote name is, which is usually origin, you can say git remote -v. If you want to delete a git branch locally, there are two options. One is saying git branch -d and then the branch name, and this is a safe delete. This will only delete the branch if the branch has been merged. But if you don't care if it's been merged or not, you just want to get rid of it, you can do -D, and this will be a forced delete. Both of these only happen locally and do not affect the remote branch, so nothing on GitHub gets affected when you do this locally. If this video helped you understand Git and not just memorize commands, hit that subscribe button. I'll see you in the next one.